On this week's episode, we're going to talk all about those Game Award nominees, and this is a banana. Helps me relax. There we go.
Oh my.
Welcome to JK Games, the game podcast where we bring you the gaming news we care about.
And maybe some that we don't.
And whether you play on easy mode,
or you like a good challenge. Yeah.
this is a show where we'll try to level up your gaming knowledge. Gaming knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what's not flaccid? It's our audio. Thank God.
Yeah.
It's strong and loud.
The banana episode. Dan Good Show really trying to get us banned, saying what's flaccid.
It's my banana.
Not safe for work. But you know
what
is safe for work? Oh God.
I'm gonna put this up now.
We are on audio is crisp. Wow, thanks, Coleman. I appreciate it. This is episode 152, Jerica. We are on a absolute roll. We're buttered.
Butter my roll.
Buttered.
You know? I was gonna say, reminder, and you might have gotten this later. I have been learning how to edit like all the things again, and I'm still a little slow getting it done. So probably this week, it's not a probably, you will get 2 episodes back to back because I'm going to post them both at the same time. So we ran into an issue at the last one and I just ran out of time. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to put out both episodes at the same time. So if you're wondering, where is episode 151? It's right behind this one. So they're going to come in at the same time.
Yeah, I think we all are proud of Jerica. She is a great full-time content creator, and you've done an amazing job. So don't be worried about your editing backlog. Because it looks great. It sounds great. Just trying to adjust to you have more workload now that we are able to be so consistent. So that's really cool, actually. But let's go ahead and jump into what's our loadout for the day. Let's gear up. Do.
We forgot to introduce ourselves again.
I'm Kayla. I'm one of your hosts.
I'm going to add that into the notes so we just don't forget it. I'm such a derp, and I just never could. The banana. I need to leave the banana away, put it away. I just want to toss it, but my dog might try to eat it. That's Kayla. I'm Jerica, host of JK Games Podcast. If it's your first time here, welcome. If it's your second time, I promise it gets a little bit better. And not really. This is it. This is what you're getting today. And yeah, let's talk about video games. Take it over, Kayla. I hand it off back to you. Let's load up. Load out. Put on my seatbelt.
Load out. We're gearing up. We got some housekeeping to go over. We got some events going on, guys. But before you hear about what we have planned for the week and what we have coming up next week, you should go follow us on our platforms. JK Games Podcast everywhere. Even Blue Sky. Yeah.
Even those blue skies. I did.
Is it just JK Games Podcast as well?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Follow us on all those things. We would love to have you there. And we will notify you when we go live. And we may even in the future have a cute little schedule out if you want to check that out.
We're working on it.
Because we do have something else going on this week that we would love for you to join us. We're going to be playing some Call of Duty on Friday, which we'll talk about later.
Boots on the ground, baby.
Boots on the ground, baby. Jerica also streamed some very recently. I don't remember the exact date. It was not long ago, though. You streamed with our friend Jim Tasty.
Yes.
Was it a few days ago?
It was a few. I don't remember what day, but it's still on Twitch.
Stayed up late. She
did.
Stayed up late, y'all.
The Red Bulls work.
She streamed some Call of Duty with our friend Jim Tasty, which
apparently, though, I'm sorry, Kayla. I keep interrupt you like a loser. I went back and watched some of that stream, and my camera just froze a lot. So there's parts of it where I'm just like, you see the gameplay, but you just see just that
it's
face. So I apologize for that. But you can see me play.
It was so funny. It was really good though. Like y'all actually did really well. Of course you're a pro Call of Duty gamer.
Just trying.
Of course you would be.
Yeah.
But we have a stream planned for just me and Jerica on Friday the 22nd at around 8:30 or so. And you can see us try our best. I actually am excited to potentially, if we decide to do zombies together, that would be fun.
I'm ready.
Who knows what you'll get. You should definitely join us so you'll get to see. But yeah, we got that stream is still up on Twitch if you want to go watch it. I think last week is still available on Twitch if you want to see that. And then Jerica also streamed Dragon Age yesterday.
Yes, I did.
So you can go watch that.
I've been trying to chip away at that game. It's been too long. I gotta beat it. I have a deadline now, Kayla. I have a deadline. I have to be done with that game by next week. Or else.
Yeah, that's what could be a version of that, like a job, like if it was your job, like because it is now.
Getting fired. Just getting fired. Just Kayla, you can fire me if I'm not done with that game next week. Audrey, fire me next week. You have to fire me next week if I'm not done with Dragon Age. You're gonna kick me out of the house. Let's make it really, really. What's the word I'm looking for? Put all the risk out there. Let's lay it all out. Sleeping on the couch. She was like, "That's too mean. You just have to sleep on the couch." Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. I hope that wasn't too loud.
It does not get better than this because this is already peak. Wow. Very, very kind.
Homeless speed run. Yes, that's it. Hashtag homeless speed run.
So definitely watch that if you want to support Jerica and her right to have somewhere to live. That would be great. So that's what we got going on. And if you're listening to us after the fact on podcasting platforms, you can watch us live every Monday now. New live date confirmed. Normally around this time, like 8:30, 9, like in that range. You'll have us live, but that's what our episodes. Oh, today we're also, we kind of alluded this, but again, we're semi-professionals.
Yeah, semi.
Today we're going to be.
My mouse just quit working just a second ago, so I was still like unplugging. I was like, okay, we're good though. It's working again.
That was very on the spot.
Yeah.
Nancy said that'll be fun to watch. Appreciate it. You can definitely. That's something that's very nostalgic to me. Which I'll talk about later. Playing Call of Duty. But yeah, so that's Monday nights around, and that's Central Time, around 8:30 Central. I still don't know time zones, so Jerica will have to translate on our socials because I don't know. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing this upcoming week. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the Game Award nominees and kind of the discussion around that. Maybe a couple of Game Awards predictions as that's coming up soon. What surprised us from the picks? What is missing? What's added that we were surprised about? And we'll dive into that in our expert mode. But first, we're going to talk about what we've been playing this week. And Jerica is going to start us off in our easy mode.
Here we go. I have been playing Dragon Age still. What's new? And, you recently asked me, or let me send you my friend code on Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever that's called. So yeah, in between my Dragon Age time, I am just playing the heck out of that Pokemon card game. It's up there for my game of the year. That little mobile game came out of nowhere. It's incredible. It's so much fun. Audrey's playing it. It all started with me being like, hey, Audrey, you should at least create an account so you could just like open cards. Because eventually they announced like you're going to be able to trade cards.
Yes.
I think at the beginning of the year, next year.
I think so, yeah.
And there's some new card packs coming soon, which is really exciting. Mm-hmm. So I was like, Audrey, just get on there and just open your packs and just see if you get any cards that I want. But I have a feeling now she's totally addicted. Never played, never collected Pokemon cards in her life. I don't even think she's ever played a Pokemon game at all.
Really?
So like this is like her first Pokemon game and got real addicted. She plays all the time. Wow. It's been hilarious how much she's gotten into it because I didn't think it was gonna grab her that hard. But yeah, it's fun. Like you get a little intimidated, like having to, and it doesn't matter. Like I haven't played the card game since I was a stupid little kid in Books A Million. I don't know if anyone here also went to Books A Million on Saturdays
I
and
did.
traded Pokemon cards. Maybe there was Yu-Gi-Oh! I know there was other card games, Magic the Gathering, but I haven't played the like actual card games since I was young, like super young.
Mhm.
So being able to revisit that and then like some tweaks they've made to make it easier to play on, like, I guess in a, it takes maybe like 15, 20 minutes sometimes for a match.
Mhm.
It's so much fun. And like it sucks at the beginning because you're like, don't have enough cards to like, are good cards to beat people, like when you start playing real people. So it was a little bit of a challenge, and you just have to keep opening packs. But the game itself does a really good job also of like teaching you how to play.
I
So
agree. Yeah.
if you've never played the card game, it's not too complicated, but it puts you through like a tutorial, like easy bots that you're going to play first and intermediate and expert or whatever. So it takes you on a journey of playing like really difficult decks, playing, against with, learning weaknesses and strengths and like how you should build. It teaches you basically what you need in a deck, and you sort of get a glimpse of like what the cards can do. So I thought that was really neat, right out of the gate for them to implement it like that. So yeah, between Dragon Age and just playing Pokemon on my phone, Pokemon cards on my phone and opening packs, I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, my easy mode is also going to include that because I have also been playing it a lot, and I'm the same as you. I haven't really played the actual card game in a long time. I did play as a kid. I was more actually of a Yu-Gi-Oh kid than a Pokemon kid. I did more of that as far as like the physical cards.
Yeah.
I also loved the side tangent, which of course, if you're here, I loved the Yu-Gi-Oh show as well. Did you watch that?
I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh because like I guess I was just still into Pokemon. I don't know. There was something about it, like I guess Kid Jerica just was not. I don't know. I don't know if it came maybe at a point where I was starting to be like where my friends were like stopping, like they're not playing Pokemon anymore. Then I was like, I don't need to play it either. I can't really remember what I should have gotten into that too, but I don't know. I missed it.
Hey, High Score Weekly, thanks for the gifted sub.
Woo woo.
To omnipotent 316. Close enough. Blue Eyes White Dragon, you activated my trap card. Yes. I was a big fan, but I digress. But I have also really enjoyed the game. Jerica, you sent me your friend code, but I haven't actually
I'm looking to see what mine is so I could put it in the chat too.
CC put his friend code in the chat and I took a picture. I'll add you on that later. But yeah, I'm having a great time. Hunter, my husband, is like big into it. And so me and him have been like battling at the end of the night. We'll be like about to go to bed. And, like,
that's great.
Card battling.
It's perfect. It's a perfect little nighttime activity. Or like I said last week, it's a perfect pooping activity. You're sitting there on the pot. Might as well open some packs and battle,
Yeah. I'm having a good time. My favorite part is building the decks. Like I really like building the deck and putting it together.
I'm frozen and I like I'm eating something. God, why does this keep happening?
Named.
Oh my gosh, are we back? Am I here? People see me. People can hear me. I was squeezing the banana the whole time. It helped me deal with this stress. Okay. Is that what they call it? Squeezing the banana?
I know that part of our normal mode is related to the Game Awards. I'm fine with just jumping into that one. If you want the Fortnite news, it's a little flaccid this time around. We can chat about it if we want.
What is it?
But that's all I've been playing. I've still been playing obviously the Pokemon game, and then I have been playing Life is Strange Double Exposure, still trying to work through that and play that game. I had to take a little break because it was like it's a little heavy and I needed like something a little lighter. And I wanted to speak to next week when we do our episode with Jim Tasty around Call of Duty next Monday. I played Call of Duty as well, and I've been really enjoying it. Are you enjoying it so far too, Jerica? I know you played some.
Black Ops, right? Black Ops 6. Yeah. That's what we're currently on. Yes,
Yeah, that's the current iteration.
that's the current iteration. Great. Yeah, I probably haven't played. I think me and we finally figured. I was like trying to describe what I played last, and it was Cold War. Was the last Call of Duty
Yeah,
game that I was like got into, which I think that's only I've only missed like a year. I think
yeah,
Cold
I think
War
that probably
was
sounds right.
a couple of years ago. Who knows? But yeah, I started playing the campaign and I had to put it down. I was like, I cannot do this until I beat Dragon Age.
It's so
So,
good.
but as soon as I'm done, that is next on my list because like I keep hearing nothing but great things about the campaign.
Yeah,
And
I've
then
only played like a couple hours.
eventually you'll catch up and we can talk about Arcane together because it's killing me not to be able to talk to you about it. I know we talked about it before we went live, but oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's wild. I don't know how it's going to end.
I'm scared of spoilers, so I'm like basically
Yeah,
having to be off of Twitter.
Don't do it. It's God, I can at least tell you like the last couple episodes have been like some of my favorite episodes of Arcane, like out of the whole series. So freaking good.
I'm excited, and I know
cannot
that
wait.
CC has binged it as well, so maybe we can get his thoughts one day on that too.
Kayla, I can't wait for you to catch up. Woo!
I got to. And I told Jerica, I've just had such a busy week that like I really want to dedicate like my full energy to it and be able to watch it on the big screen.
Not watch it on a phone. Don't do that.
Not watch it on my phone. I was tempted. I was like, ooh, I could just, I have a bad habit of like just multitasking on things and like, 'cause I know I need to get them done, but I want to dedicate my full time. CC redeemed this like little on-screen celebration.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's like
that looks like a little fall guy in a cage.
Yeah. Dan Good Show said Wi-Fi Night started season 2 of Rings of Power. Definitely doing Arcane after that. And then Game Over Cholo said I'm on Arcane season 2 episode 5 is picking up.
Oh, it's not going to set you down. Like it is picking you up and it's tossing you all the way into outer space.
I love that so much. That was me. I put you in chat in jail for too much banana.
Okay, I'm gonna put it up now. I keep like it's just you can't not squeeze it. So
that's funny. But Jerica, we got a little bit of news to cover before we hop into our main topic.
Yeah, I pulled a couple things this week. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm very curious to see what you think about the DLC in the Game Awards stuff. Like, I know we're probably going to talk about that in our main topic as well, but I think that might be some interesting discussion.
Yeah.
As far as like what should belong and what shouldn't.
So like I saw the nominees come out and like don't quote me on this, but they historically I think DLC maybe or expansions have sort of been put in that category of best ongoing game.
Mm-hmm.
So it is now stated that DLC. Let me pull it up from the actual site. What it states, because I think it was like their Q&A. I didn't have that pulled up. Here we go. I found it so fast because I'm good. I was doing that today. I just did a little research. So our DLC. This is on the Game Awards website under their FAQ. The Game Awards aims to recognize the best creative and technical work each year. Regardless of format of that content release, expansion packs, new game seasons, DLCs, remakes, remasters are all eligible in all categories. Wow. In all categories. So if the jury deems the new creative or technical work to be worthy of a nomination, factors such as newness of the content and its price value should be taken into consideration. But there's no like set rules, but it needs to be taken into consideration. Mm-hmm. So with that update, we have we'll go into it later, but of course the Elden Ring Erdtree's in there for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
which is not surprising. I didn't play it, and I sort of talked about it I tweeted about it earlier, just talking about I get why it's there, but yeah, well, I'll save this for when we get into it later. My thoughts and opinions on it. And then a few of you even responded this week, so I'll add y'all's 2 cents at the end there when we talk about the nominees. So that's a little bit of an update. Huh? What's happening?
This this effect that High Score Weekly is doing is very interesting.
It doesn't surprise me.
But yeah, I'm very curious to
That's
see
cool.
little teaser for the expert mode. I'm very, very interested. But in other news, not quite as riveting and exciting, but still interesting, especially for me as a Fortnite player. The OG Fortnite is returning. Kind of interesting that last week in the news, the Overwatch was doing something similar where they announced that they were going back to like the original, doing like a special of the original Overwatch, which is interesting. Like, kind of derailed, but not really, based on like last week's notes. One of our friends of the show, Kyle, he actually said that I haven't played the original Overwatch that they brought back for the temporary time, but he did, and he did say that it was pretty rough, actually. Like, he did say that he almost felt like they brought it back to kind of like be thankful for what you have now.
Okay.
Vibe. And like, I don't know, I can't speak to that myself. That was just like his opinion, which he's a big Overwatch player, so I really do trust his opinion. He's played for a long time, and done a lot, so he almost feels like they brought back the original because of the kind of discourse around like, there's been a lot of discussion around like, is Overwatch 2 even a different game than it was before? So I thought that was interesting. Just a little tidbit there. But on a different note, Fortnite does something similar where they're bringing back, this is directly from their Twitter, Fortnite game. This is not a drill. OG is coming back and is here to stay. Relive Battle Royale from the start and explore the OG map, collect OG loot, and relive OG seasons. Drop back in on December 6th. So that should be interesting. I'm curious what that will all entail as far as like the skins go, because I know like there were some skins that released originally with the game that are no longer available. So will they bring those back available?
Arcane
Hard to
skins,
say.
I want them back. That's the
And
one
that's
thing
what
that will get me back on Fortnite, because I haven't been on it in years. I have not played in years.
Yeah, I would love to squad up with you, Jerica. I would love it so
As long
much.
as I can be Jinx from Arcane, we'll squad up. That's the only way they'll get me back to Fortnite and play. And you know, like when I pulled this article, like I was just like interested in like, honestly, I don't really follow like how many players they have like that sign in on average. And I was just curious, like, because like I said, I haven't played in years, and like I know it's still a very popular game. Well, I went down a rabbit hole of just like knowing like what's the most popular online games, what's everyone played. You know, I knew Minecraft was still a thing, but it stays consistently a thing. Like it's still in like the top 3 or 4. League of Legends, Roblox, like those games like are all in like the top 5. Include like Fortnite, I feel like stays number 1, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure a couple of times they go to number 2, but I feel like Fortnite is still the game. It's just wild how long it has stayed the game.
Yeah. And didn't we, I feel like we did an episode on this, like a long time ago. I think we did an episode on like, how does Fortnite stay relevant? Yeah. Especially during like COVID, they've hosted concerts. They've done exclusive movie trailers. They've done all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited to see what they do next. Like it's always, I'm never sure like what's going on. And I always love when they add like extra flair.
Camera again. Dang it. What is happening? Sorry. I'm going to figure that out. I'm frozen again. Just look at me and pretend my lips are moving.
At least you still sound okay. But Dan Goodshow said, I'm still in Fortnite every week. We definitely should squad up. But that's really it. The tweet also does say, kind of talking about what you said earlier, yesterday was the biggest day in Fortnite's history with over 44.7 million players jumping in and 102 million hours of play. That was Epic Games revealed.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off because I got distracted by my camera and I didn't realize you were reading. I was making sure you knew that this tweet was from like 2023. The second one.
Oh no, I didn't even recognize that. That's
sorry,
crazy.
I meant to lead you into that because that's why I went down this rabbit hole, because I was like, well, how was this successful when it, because I didn't really know. I didn't really know this mode went away. I remember hearing about it coming back. I didn't realize it went away. But just to compare, like, was this gonna do? Does this make sense to bring it back? And I'm like, oh shit! It sounds like it does make sense to bring it back though, because like it sounds like it was a success. This was from last year after they launched it.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's been honestly everything they do like is successful. Like they have a lot of fan base that stays pretty locked in.
And I thought about Overwatch too, like bringing back the old mode. Like part of that is like seems like because did we just talk about that? But did you say someone said it was running pretty great, like the old Overwatch? Did we talk about that?
No, so we did, and they actually did not say it. They said it was running horribly.
Okay, I was thinking I was getting my wires crossed with Fortnite. I was like,
no, our friend of the show, Kyle, said it was horrible.
That's what you're. Sorry, my brain clicked the Fortnite, and the whole time I was thinking, I didn't realize Kyle was that into Fortnite. I knew he was, but that's me just not listening. No. I'm sorry.
Well, you've had technical difficulties.
Yeah,
it's
I'm just struggling. I'm just now gonna just find a picture of me just to put in that square because, like, I don't think I'm coming back.
Aw, but hey, you know what is coming back?
What?
Game of the Year.
It is coming back.
Nominees. It's always fun. We always make it like an event. So we can go ahead and hop into our expert mode after. Well, Jerica, I'll let you get your picture if you wanted to get your picture ready. You should put a picture of her banana.
Hold on. Give me a second. I'm so sad. I can't get my camera to work.
Wow. And they're bragging on my transition, but we didn't get to see it through, unfortunately.
Here, I got an idea.
That's true. High School Weekly said podcast listeners don't need the camera. Also fair. Podcast listeners are probably like, guys, get on with it.
I will definitely cut this for the podcast so people aren't just listening to nothing.
Yeah.
I'll make sure.
Nancy's in the chat said, wow, when I learned how, it seems really fun. Yeah, it's fun. I think you would actually like Fortnite because I think it's silly enough that you would like it. So Jerica has so graciously pulled up our Game of the Year nominees. I'm curious, how many of you guys in the chat have looked yet? Have you guys not looked? What are your thoughts? Definitely, as we go along, let us know how you feel about everything. Because I try every year to be more involved. I play a lot of indie games, like we've talked about. I actually haven't seen the indie game nominees yet. So we'll get to look at those together. But I try to play games like new releases to be able to participate in the awards. If you're listening, I would love to know how many of these have you played? So we've got Astrobot, we've got Balatro, we've got Black Myth Wukong, we've got Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantasio. How many have you guys played? High School.
Has anyone played Balatro? Because we're really curious of what makes that game great, which I know for a fact that card games can be my biggest downfall because I get easily addicted to those. So I'm sure that that's some of the appeal.
Yeah. And I was looking at it, and I really don't mean to sound judgmental, but I'm just so curious what about it stands out. So if you guys have played it, I would love to know.
That it beat out Baby Animal Well or Dragon Age, you know?
Yeah. And like,
not that I'm mad about it. I'm sure it's a great game. And I know like Inscription, incredible roguelike card game.
Yeah. Some commentary so far. Dan Goodshow said, I struggle with Erdtree being nominated, but the other choices are solid. Game Over Cholo said, I have a tweet on September where I nailed 5 out of 6, just swap Helldivers 2 with Metaphor. Also surprised about Helldivers.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah, it's not on here.
Did it make any of the lists? I don't get into it unless I got it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm almost done. Let me hit the plus button here and bring in my picture.
Yeah, let's see it. Reveal, drum roll.
I found another phallic object that's safe for Twitch. Yes, and I don't mean to have these funny things. It's just funny, I guess.
I don't know. I
This
can't.
is me.
Let me see.
I'm coming. It's coming. There's more jokes there. I don't mean to be crude.
Dan Good Show said
source.
Balatro is very fun and very mobile friendly. It's included in Apple Arcade. Okay, I'm gonna have to download that then. There are so many ways to manipulate cards to chase a high score. Gamer Troller also said Balatro is super addictive and has no microtransactions. That's nice. I love a good microtransaction, not gonna lie.
It's gonna be like I'm actually here, y'all.
Let's see.
Kayla can't see me. She
Not
sees
yet.
my Discord thing.
Hold on. I'm seeing the response.
Y'all get to see the magic happen live. How cool.
Oh, I gotta watch her ad
I'm back.
first.
Dang. If I'd even had more time and I didn't want to waste anybody else's time here, I would actually like cut out like a little square under my mouth so I can make my mouth move as I'm talking.
Oh my god.
Like a little puppet. Maybe I have that on the backup plan for next time.
Yeah.
So.
I still can't see it. Hold on.
I'm in my hot dog costume.
Oh my gosh, yay! Yay!
Yeah.
I love your hot dog. The hot dog's a yearly tradition.
It is. I've gotten to where I just keep it downstairs. You never know when you need to slip it on. You know?
My favorite thing is I love that. Doesn't it have a condiment? It has mustard on
there
it.
is ketchup
Oh
and
my
mustard
God,
and
I see
little
it
grill
now.
marks.
I see it now.
It's literally a photo that's just been put on, like, printed on foam. Like, it's a photorealistic hot dog on some foam that you can slide on your body. Okay, I'm back. Sort of. You can hear me, which that works.
Yeah.
Chat, can you still hear me? Because I don't see my audio mix moving at all. That's another concern I have. So hopefully that's working.
Would you like to give any commentary on your Game of the Year nominations? What's your pick? How do you feel about Erdtree? Anything missing?
So I'm still thinking on it. You know, I'm not like, it's not like wrecking my time. It's not ruining my good time for the Game of the Year award situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, like, was it last? Yeah, it was last year. I feel like Phantom Liberty. I think about Phantom Liberty being incredible DLC for Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for that DLC, I would have never came back to Cyberpunk and finished it.
Yeah.
Liberty. Is it Liberty? No, I'm getting that confused. What did I say? Phantom Liberty. I always get it saves Liberty City, and that's Grand Theft Auto. But you know what I mean. Phantom Liberty. Incredible DLC. Some would say it's better. It's a better experience than like the core Cyberpunk game.
Mm-hmm.
Because they learned a few things and they added some cool little missions, and it's a part of the game though. Like, you don't play it separately. It's like in the middle of the game, I think.
Okay.
But at the time, DLC wasn't. It couldn't be. It didn't qualify for those categories. If I hope I'm not mistaken, I don't think it could, because it went into the ongoing category. So, and it actually won that category.
Oh yeah,
Best ongoing game.
That's what Dan Good Show said. Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, like, the best ongoing game category, I always just think of live service games. I don't think of DLC from that category. And usually it is, I think, live service games.
Yeah.
So like Destiny is in there, I think, again this year.
Mm-hmm.
And probably Fortnite and other things. We'll get to it in a second. But at the end of the day, I think we need to have some kind of DLC category. Like, it does need its own category.
Yeah.
Now, I think it could also apply to be Game of the Year. I think it should qualify for other areas if it's that good. And that was sort of like my thoughts on it, was like, how often is this happening that we're getting DLC that is that good? Because Shadow of the Erdtree, I think it's probably the highest rated game of the year so far. But I don't know. I can't remember on Metacritic. But if it's not number one, it's definitely number two.
Yeah.
So I think it should be here if it's that great.
Yeah.
You know, that's my opinion.
I agree. And like we've done a whole episode dedicated to like DLC and expansions and all of that and how we feel about it. And like, I think it can be done really well. And sometimes it can feel like a whole brand new game too. So But I think you're right too. I almost do wish it was like a separate category, because I do think like, I think about studios who have worked so hard to like create this new concept from like the ground up. And is it right to compare that to an expansion? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I
but
think
it is
live
interesting.
service, it's different because it's hard to say, because like technically an expansion, I don't know if they consider like Destiny, like they're expansions. They still consider like the final shape is an expansion.
Yeah.
So, but also it's in the like, I don't know. I'm so glad I don't have to figure it out because I don't know the answer, but there is something that's not right. Or at least it's right, but it can be more right.
Seems
or at
off.
least give an opportunity for more DLC to qualify for their own situation.
Yeah.
But it's just not happening enough to where I feel like this is not a problem we're having every year where
Right.
Urge Tree shows up to bump Dragon Age out of the mix. You know, I am mad Dragon Age isn't on this list.
Yeah.
But actually, I also haven't finished the game. So who am I? Like, just don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know anything about video games.
You know what I'm sad isn't on here? Economics. That's what I'm sad that's not on here.
Well, you get on socials and tell Jeff Keighley that.
I should.
Go tell him. I think you should.
It came out
I'm
this
just
year.
a hot dog. Yep. I'm just a hot dog. What do I know?
Yeah. That's what that's what High Score Weekly said. You're just a hot dog.
I'm just a hot dog. Who do you think's gonna win though? Because I just asked you that. But I don't know how many of these games you've read about or at least played. And it's okay if you haven't played any of these, because it's a very unique mix. These games aren't for everybody. Every one of these is sort of unique enough that certain gamers aren't going to play. They might just play one of these games.
Yeah. I personally have not played any of them, which I think I talked about this kind of during your intermission where you were fixing your camera. But like, I'm not super upset that I haven't played these. I really try, like, I have been lately really prioritizing indie games and like more narrative driven games, which are not usually, like, not saying not on this list, but like I wouldn't say are like the top like gamery games necessarily. But one thing that was on my radar was Astrobot for sure. Like that definitely seems like something I would love. And I'm intrigued by Black Myth as well, Wukong. And I've read up, I'm familiar with all of them. Like I keep up with them enough to know, like, obviously all of these are very popular and I think all belong in here. But what would you pick? Because I know you've played a couple of these, right?
Yes. Haven't beat Astrobot, which is just, that's on me. And, you know, Astrobot's going to spank me for not beating it. But I could already tell, like, it is something special. They knocked it out of the park for a 3D platformer. Like, it is phenomenally, it is well made. It is fun to play. And I'm so glad Astrobot has its own game now. Yeah. I've also played in its entirety Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Okay.
And that was an adventure. It was so much fun. I played it on the easiest difficulty. I didn't get into all the crystals, the manas and the things to put in my weapons.
Yeah.
We talked about that with Respawning Fire. We actually had Kyle on that episode.
Nice.
With them.
Yeah, I got to watch some of that.
Yeah, amazing game. Love it. I can't wait to see how that story plays out. It's tough. Like, just for those two that I played, I'm gonna have to go. Oh, it's tough. I'm gonna have to say Astrobot, because I feel like, you know,
nice.
Final Fantasy Rebirth is definitely, like, Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, you know, a few years ago. And if I'm comparing like what innovations, maybe I'm giving it a little bit of a demotion or something, just because it's had its chance to be even better. And it did get a little bit better for me, and the game opens up way more. But like, Astrobot is just something special. It's got a vision from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
I can see where Final Fantasy gets a little messy at times for the average player, and like maybe they could do a better job of like guiding the player where they need to. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just a hot dog and I'm struggling to play games. But I think Astrobot, out of the ones I've played. I've started Metaphor, Refantasio, but Dragon Age came out, so I had to put that down. Audrey got that game and started it, so I started playing it.
I'm also
and that is also
that.
something that's very special too. It's good. Like, I don't think Balatro or Black Myth get Game of the Year. I think it's going to be, and I don't think Final Fantasy Rebirth gets Game of the Year either. I think it's going to be between Astrobot, Metaphor, and Elden Ring.
Okay.
Like I think those are the three that are it's going to be one of those three.
Well, don't worry, because in the next category, you get all the same options.
I always have to read like the definition of these. So awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
For best game direction.
So, I would think, like, when I think vision, innovation, changing the game, that's where it sort of gets a little, because I haven't played. I played a little bit of Elden Ring because I suck at it and I keep dying and open up Pokemon packs. That was the stream I did. Every time I died, I'd open up a pack of real Pokemon cards and I ran out of cards because I kept dying. I don't know with the DLC, did it reinvent itself? Is it going to also sort of stand out as a creative vision innovation, even though its actual game came out like last year? I don't know. I can't really give my answer here because I don't really know enough about Balatro and like what it's doing. It sounds like it's been pretty innovative.
I'm curious. I downloaded it.
My vote's for Astrobot again.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think they do some really cool stuff in that game. That's tied to puzzle solving, unique abilities, and ways of making the player have fun. So I definitely see Astrobot here too.
Okay.
Best narrative.
Okay, we got some different options here.
Cool.
What do we got?
You're gonna have to be an expert for someone to walk away from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth knowing, man, that was a fantastic story because it's so confusing. Almost, it reminds me like Kingdom Hearts, just a little wild. So I'm curious if that gets it. Like a Dragon, the Yakuza games are just really popular. I've never really got into one. I can see the appeal, and the story is just goofy, and like the characters are super lovable, so that might be a top contender. Metaphor and Hellblade, I think, might be the two that maybe take the top spot here. It might be between one of those.
I still have to play Hellblade. I can't believe it's taken me so long. I really want to play both of them because I feel like I would love them.
Yeah.
Have you played Hellblade 2?
It's one of those. It's made it to my backlog, dude. Not because the story was bad, just because I think I was playing Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And that took up most of my year. That and Destiny. Because those are both time suckers right there.
No, I get that. Yeah. Of course.
And I haven't played enough Silent Hill 2. I know it's a fan favorite. Got remade. Also started that. It's on my backlog of Doom now. And I'm going to get back to it.
Yeah.
That might show up here. I don't know.
I've seen that our friends of the show, Spotlight Games, they streamed Silent Hill 2, and I watched some of it. Not enough to get spoiled, because I do want to play it. It looked really good. Like, the way it looked was great.
Oh, yeah. It's visually just stunning.
Yeah.
I love the opening of that game where you're just walking through the woods. It's great. It's eerie.
Yeah.
I love a good creepy woods.
Creepy woods.
Good creepy woods.
Okay, so
I popped over to art direction.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite categories usually. I really hope, I'm skipping ahead. I really hope Neva wins this one. I really hope it does.
It might be tough. Metaphor, this Atlas team, they do some phenomenal things also with design.
Yeah.
It's just, oh God. Yeah, I agree here. I think it might be between Metaphor and Neva. Like, those are going to be the number one or number two.
For those listening, it's Astrobot, Black Myth, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor Refantasio, and Neva. I haven't played.
Oh, thank you for doing. I forget people will not be able to see this on the podcast, so you are the best, Kayla.
We've done it on all the other ones.
It's a lot of the same games, though. Everybody, a lot of the same games are nominated in most categories,
which makes sense. I mean, I get that. But for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation, I haven't played Neva yet, but I really want to. And I played Gris and I absolutely loved it. And I just love the way that this studio does their art. And I think it deserves a win. So I hope that gets it.
But who knows? Next? Like I saw some people playing the Erd Tree.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked just like Elden Ring. I can't tell what's Erd Tree or what's just Elden Ring.
Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't make it this round, you know?
Yeah. High School Weekly.
Speaking as a banana, I mean hot dog here.
A banana.
I forget what I am.
Dog.
I'm just a piece of food.
Don't say that about yourself, Jerica. You're more than that.
That's not too. Thank you. That is, you're right. I'm more than a piece of food. Don't tell that to a dinosaur, though, or an alien.
High School Weekly said I did the Neva soundtrack listen on my channel, which you guys should go check him out because he does like track listens on his live. So I think that's always really interesting. The soundtrack's also phenomenal on Neva as well, just from what I know so far. But speaking of soundtracks, best score in music. Ooh.
Hell yeah. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for the win here.
Yeah.
That's my pick.
Okay.
I don't remember hearing a lot of great sounds or a lot of great music from Stellar Blade, but that's been nominated here.
That game looks very suggestive.
Yeah. The gamers love it because she's hot. I mean, I like it because she's hot too, but like, yeah, Stellar Blade. It's actually, I watched Audrey actually played a little bit of it, got into it. It visually stunning, not just, you know, the pretty lady. The game looked fun to play. It just didn't look like, it reminds me of Nier a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But once again, just my life was taken over by Destiny and Final Fantasy. So I didn't get to play it.
And then again, some of the same. Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII, Metaphor, Silent Hill.
Astrobot has a banger soundtrack too, so you never know.
Hard to
I think
say.
Final Fantasy will win this one though. That's my vote, and that's my prediction.
Okay.
But Metaphor, I forget. You know, I was even just listening. Audrey got a little bit further than me. I'm sorry, I went back in time. Man, Metaphor might actually win this.
Okay.
I take that bet. It's going to be between Metaphor and Final Fantasy. I can't tell you. I can't really actively predict, but it'll be one of those two.
I believe you. With my little nug experience.
I thought you said with my little nug experience. I'm like, are you a chicken nugget?
I wish.
You're going to be a nugget and I'll be a little hot dog.
I wish I was a nugget.
Little nug. Okay. Audio design. I always pick Call of Duty, but that was a highlight for Hellblade.
Yeah.
Hellblade 2.
I haven't.
That's his bread and butter.
I haven't played it myself, but I've also heard that it's pretty good.
Yo. But every time I get on Call of Duty, God bless America and their skills to make things sound good. They even have like a Treyarch like mix if you're using headphones, and I'm like, okay, y'all got your own recommendations for headphones. I can get down with that.
Yeah.
You know, I love crisp, perfect mixed audio.
Yeah, it's so good. And
I can appreciate that.
They're like, I could sit in the lobby and listen to the lobby music. It's got a little bit of heavy metal, like just enough to where I'm like vibing in the lobby. Like it's so good. That's got to have my vote.
God.
For sure.
The clickety clacks of the bullets, the pitter patter of my feet. Like it's just, they'd always nail it. But then I think about Astrobot. That made me think of his little clinks on his little legs, like hit like different parts of like different types of floor.
Yeah.
Ground environments, like his feet make different sounds.
I need to play that game.
I don't think anything tops Black Ops 6 here. Call of Duty in general.
Yeah.
With audio design. They always
Absolutely.
nail it. But Hellblade, though, they do specifically, I keep saying, all right, next category, and I keep talking. But theirs is like, you know, part of it's like hearing voices and like hearing sound effects from left or right, which that's a part of this player, this game, or this character that you're playing as. I don't know. I never beat it, so I really can't say. I can't predict this one. Call of Duty will be a hard one to beat, though.
Yeah. I think, I don't know if there's any other categories that Call of Duty show up in, so it might just for that. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this next one, best performance. We've got, I always have to look up who they actually voice in their games. But we've got Brianna White for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We've got Hannah Tell for Life is Strange Double Exposure, and she plays Max. I did look that one up, and I love her in Life is Strange, and I love Max and her voice. I think she does a great job with her inflection and like showing emotion.
She does.
We do have Humberly Gonzalez for Star Wars Outlaws, which, by the way, hasn't showed up on any categories yet.
Well, here it shows up here.
Except, I mean, yeah,
with her voice
until now. She plays the main girl, Kay. And then we have Luke Roberts for Silent Hill 2. And then we have Melina Jurgens for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2.
She always does a phenomenal job, and I'm sure she did the same thing for the second one. I mean, I even started playing it, and I was like, wow, she's good. Yeah. Brianna White does Aerith's voice, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So, and yeah, good performance. I don't know, like just the type of character that Senua is and how well this lady, Melina, delivered the first, in the first game, how well she delivered that performance. That might be tough. She might get this again. I don't know. I can't pick this one either. A lot of good, talented folks here.
I voted for in solidarity mostly, since it hasn't showed up quite yet. I actually voted for Hannah Tell because I do love her in Life is Strange. I think she does a great job with Max's voice. So that would be my personal pick out of what I know from this category. All right.
We won't go through all of these, by the way.
No.
And I'm not going to be able to vote for this one per se either, just because like I don't know how far all of these games go. I know with the ones I have played, I'm so excited. I will say, like, I played Outlaws, I've played Dragon Age, Call of Duty. Like, all three of those games had a pretty extensive options with accessibility. Like, I love seeing new features show up in ways to help the game be adaptable to whoever's playing, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know who did it best this year. So I'm curious if you've read anything or had any thoughts.
I don't. I also am not someone who needs to really utilize the accessibility features, but I do want to make it more of a habit to like look at that in order to be able to speak on it. I know that Call of Duty, they always do a good job with like options as far as like visual accessibility, as far as like modular control accessibility. So I definitely saw those when I was playing them.
Dragon Age had a lot too.
That's awesome.
I just don't know the length of, I don't know the extent and how that compares to all the games here.
Chat, let us know if you have any thoughts on that. But I love that this is a category. I know it's like a fairly new category.
Yeah. I have not played any of these games enough to know.
I'm very intrigued by Closer the Distance. I just looked it up and I'm adding it to my wish list because I'll read you guys the little blurb really quick. Closer the Distance is a slice of life sim right up my alley.
Oh, this is Games for Impact, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if we announced that. Okay.
We didn't. That tells a deeply emotional story about the connections between family and friends in the face of tragedy. I want to play this like right now. So I'm going to add that to my wish list. And then we have Indica, Neva, Life is Strange, which is be my vote just based on my information that I have. Hellblade 2, which I know has a lot of like social impact, because this is basically what you're voting on for this one is for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. And then we have Tales of Kinzira as well, which I also heard is great. Any thoughts on
No
that?
High Score Weekly. You can't play any of these games. They're not for you. They're just for Impact.
Next category.
I will say, depending on what's next, I might not be able to give support. Oh, yes, I can. At some point, I will say, I'm not going to go through the rest of these. We'll have to revisit those, or you just look it up online.
Yeah.
Best ongoing. This is the category I was sort of talking about earlier, though, with, hey, DLC can fit here, and it does sometimes. But I think this needs to be, like, literally live service instead of just maybe ongoing means live service. Like, this makes sense. It's not technically DLC. Okay, regardless, I'm always gonna vote for Destiny 2.
Of course.
You know, because I think they are always looking for a new way to keep us engaged.
Yeah.
Keep people like me that's trying to play other stuff and say, well, if you don't play next week, you won't get this shader, or you won't be able to get this weapon. Or just having new modes. And I think they did for this year, especially with Final Shape.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, they didn't break any records with like total players. I got really close, but they had so much content this year. Even before Final Shape came out, they had the Pantheon that almost killed me. So like, but Helldivers, you know? Dang.
That's also true.
But I feel like Destiny 2 kept it going longer this year. And I know Diablo had an expansion come out recently, but like, as far as like being engaged, having ongoing content all year, Destiny 2. That's my vote.
Hell yeah. I support you.
Yeah.
I support it. Which I'm also down to, by the way, there's so many categories that we will never be able to cover them all. But I do wish that we could probably skip community support and go next to the best indie game, because I do feel like we should touch on this one.
Let's do that.
As somebody, this could be maybe how we end, because I love talking about indie games. I've unfortunately only played one on this list, and I haven't finished it. But my vote would probably be for Animal Well, because I think it's really cool. And I have heard like critique that it's kind of boring or like not as like super engaging, but it's so like visually really.
No, it's a really freaking cool game.
It's cool, and there's a lot of cool stuff that it does. Like that, I think it.
You have to go into it not being okay with not knowing where to go, and just being okay with not knowing. If you're looking for direction, you're gonna have a bad time. But go into that just being curious. It's one of those games.
I agree. And so that one's on here. And then we have Balatro again. We have Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, which I'm intrigued by and have never heard of.
That sounds cool. Sounds like a cool band.
Yeah. And then we have
I missed that game.
And then we also have UFO 50, which I haven't heard of.
Apparently, great game.
Really?
It also, I don't know why. I just saw it on Metacritic. It's way up there. It just also went over my head and I missed it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I keep seeing it show up now that we're talking about, Game Awards stuff. So something I missed, another game I missed this year.
Well,
I'm going to be on top of it next year, because my eyes, my eyeballs, and my hands and my feet are just all in the video games right now.
Hell yeah.
Nothing will ever get by me ever again.
Well, I am definitely curious about the rest of the votes, but like we said, it would probably take a hot minute to go through every single one. But you
There's one last thing I just want to say.
Yeah.
Pokemon trading card game did make the list for best mobile game. I agree. Come on. Let's get the cards in there. And then last thing I'll talk about, I'm mad Dragon Age isn't in any category.
None?
But they made the accessibility one. That's a great thing. But they didn't make RPG. Like, what the heck?
Wow. That's kind of crazy.
I don't know about that. I don't know if you're telling me one of these games, at least one of them, does it deserve this space more than Dragon Age? I don't know. I'm just a hot dog. I don't know. It's just a bummer.
Just a hot dog.
So I feel like, I don't know. It's weird. Okay. So, I
Best
just had to do this.
Best sim. Oh, I gotta look at the sim category later. Oh man. Y'all know. Oh, you gotta pull it up.
Any of these games you played?
No.
Okay.
No. I do have Manor Lords on my list, though.
They need to consult you.
They do.
More, Kayla.
I have plenty of options.
Here we go.
Ooh, Arcane.
Yeah, Arcane's gonna win.
Yeah.
But man, Fallout, what a great show.
Oh,
what
yeah.
a good video game adaptation. Yeah, like I will say this, like I love the direction they took this story with Fallout, because like I think at times in Arcane does something similar to, well, they don't really have as much they don't have like League of Legends. You can't really make a TV show about League of Legends without adding story. I mean, there's story there, but it's not like The Last of Us where you could literally use the same script and make a great TV show.
Yeah.
Like with Arcane, and I think about Destiny a lot like this. Like there's a lot of lore, but like it took some really great writers and creatives to like make this story. I tweeted about it also earlier. I cannot believe Arcane's based on League of Legends. It's wild. Yeah. I was going in this direction with this, and then we'll wrap up. I love that Fallout decided to take a storyline that was not from the game. It was an original story in the universe, and I think that works.
Yeah.
I think that works really well for it. It was a smart move.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was going to like that show as much as I did.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was incredible. Like and I like that it's like they do like subtle nods to the game, and like there obviously is some crossover, but it's not like direct. And I think that works well for sure. And I would recommend more franchises do that.
I unfortunately didn't watch Knuckles.
No.
I'm a big Sonic fan, but I didn't watch the show. I cannot wait to see the new movie. Tomb Raider's on my list to watch. I hear that's really good. Here it was not too shabby.
I also have heard it's good.
I like a good animated feature, and then I just don't know much about the Yakuza show to say if it's good or not.
No, I actually, this is my first time hearing about it.
Well, there you go. That's it. Okay, cool. I'm done now.
Yeah, you guys should go out and vote on your picks, and definitely let us know. Samson XP, hi, in the chat, came in to say Balatro sweep. We found somebody that's their game.
Okay,
we were wondering what was so good about it. Also coming from YouTube. Wow, I love that. I love seeing some crossover in our lives, so I appreciate it. They also said Hot Dog has a good point.
Thank you.
High School Weekly also said DLC expansions needs its own category, and we definitely agree. But I appreciate you guys sticking around for all of our rants and endeavors. Jerica being a hot dog.
Technical difficulties. I turned into a hot dog. I got to figure that out for next week, how to not be a hot dog.
And then I don't see any of our friends on. I was going to say we could raid a channel at the end of this. Oh no, Jake Twitchin is on. We can raid him if y'all want to stay in here after we're done. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Oh yeah. One last thing. I will post our schedule, soon. Me and Kayla are going to try to play some Call of Duty this week. We would love to have y'all in there.
Yes.
Also, I'm going to try to stream some more Dragon Age this week. And if anyone in here wants to talk about Arcane with me, please hop in that. Find me on socials. Let's talk about it. Because Kayla's behind and I don't have anyone else to talk about. My girlfriend's like, please shut up about Arcane. That's really not her saying that, but for real.
Where can they find
I need
you,
more people.
Jerica?
You can find me everywhere under Jericas.
Yeah.
Like Pikachu, but jerk. There's more jokes there, but I'm not going to make them. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Hope y'all had fun. We'll see you next time.